for joining me today. This is going to be a continued series of workshops or online classes that we'll be doing. I really wanted to bring websites and blogging to you guys because I took a couple different uh, classes, masterminds out at Family Reunion. And I got a ton of great information, some great mindset, some great strategy kind of stuff that I definitely wanted to relay to you because I know not everybody gets an opportunity to get out to Family Reunion. And there's so much information that's being conveyed out there that some of it might get lost in the shuffle or might not resonate with everybody. So if you're interested in websites and blogging, you're in the right spot. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about, the design of a website, some best practices, some strategies, and then get into a little bit of technical stuff, just so that you understand a little bit how some of these websites are being graded and indexed, so that you can be found online, basically. And when people find you, they're getting the message that you want to send them. They're getting their needs fulfilled, and you're educating the people who are landing on your site. Additionally, then we'll just do a short little piece inside of Command, just so that you can see what little elements we can use to instill some of these practices that we're going to talk about. Okay. So let's go here. So the first thing I want to talk about is design. So everybody right now, if you're using a Keller Williams site, basically we get a general site that everybody has similar capabilities, but it comes down to the customization. So the things that you want to make sure in your designs that you don't just fill it with a bunch of stuff. You want to make sure you're conveying your personal brand or story that's specific to you, that will make you stand out in the crowd compared to the other agents that are not only with Keller Williams, but with other real estate companies as well. You want to make sure you have clear content, photos, and videos. There's nothing worse than putting out content that is confusing, doesn't make sense. Photos that are really grainy and blurry, and videos that may not be uploading or conveying the message that you want to convey. And you want to make sure that people can easily navigate on your site. I know that is one of the biggest things with our sites right now is that we have to do some customization of our navigation menu. So that's something we can always do a special class on because it's a little bit more technical. But when somebody gets onto your site, they have to do a lot of clicking around. Stuff is hidden. You're going to lose them pretty quickly. Okay, so easy navigation. One of the other big things you want to do is engaging storytelling. So crafting narratives that captivate visitors, evoke emotion, and ultimately compel them to take action. So telling your story, captivating them, keeping them on your page, and then making sure that there is some sort of call to action. Because if they just go there, they read your page and never do nothing going forward, it kind of is purposeless then. So you want to make it everything very purposeful. All right. We talked about personal brand. Personal brand is something that we could do tons of classes on. You could take webinars on, all kinds of stuff. But it's really more than just a logo, guys. So I know a lot of us want a logo and we think, okay, we got a logo. Now we're going to stick it on everything. And that's my personal brand. But it's a little bit more than just that. Your personal brand really shows your personality. All right. It has to match your personality. You have to be truly authentic to yourself. If you're trying to convey that you are a high stakes city, luxury condo realtor on your website, and then that's not the kind of clientele that you're actually trying to capture, you're making a mistake in your brand. So you have to remember who your audience is, who you are, and be able to convey that via your website and your blogs, right? Picking themes, color palettes, and logos, that is part of it. We can make everything look cohesive. All right. I know some of us have dueling personalities or split personalities, and sometimes we like a certain aesthetic and sometimes we don't. But if you make something nice and cohesive across all of your platforms, you're going to be able to be recognizable. And that's another thing about being findable. So having your brand across multiple platforms, and then they match each other, then you're able to be findable, searchable, and recognizable. All right. So what I'm saying is, when you're on your website, don't make it look city and corporate. And then on your Facebook, where you're more you, then you're more personable, consumer driven, out and about in the town that you live in, and that's more your personality. You want to make sure that they match. Okay. And speaking about out and about in the town, we want to make sure we're connecting with people beyond real estate. So your website, your Facebook, your TikTok, whatever that is that you're into, and you're conveying your personal brand and you have your business out there, it's going to be more than just real estate, because people are going to want to work with you and learn more about you and what you value. So connecting with people beyond real estate on your website is huge, because we want to drive people to our sites, because they may potentially become a client even if they are not at currently. Right? There's a lot of stuff in here. This personal brand, okay? Some tactical things that we can do to convey our personal brand, something like an agent's journey. So sharing your personal journey and your passion for real estate, what inspired you to become a real estate agent, what sets you apart. This fosters a connection with your visitors. So besides doing a really generic bio, right? This is who I am, this is where I service, and these are the titles that I hold. You want to make sure you're talking about why you got into real estate. Personally, why does it affect you? Why do you, even though the industry is really hard right now, why do you stay in real estate? What is your big why? We always talk about our big why. So what is your big why? Why are you doing this? Your clients or potential clients want to know that, okay? Local insight and history. So tell the story of neighborhoods and communities you serve. Discuss the history, culture, amenities, and unique features that make each area special. This helps potential clients envision themselves living in the area. You are the local expert. You live and you serve in your own communities, right? Most of us are not selling real estate far out of our communities, and we're hyper focused inside of our local communities. Nobody knows your community better than you. You have a firsthand experience. So talk about what it's like to be in that community. This can be in a blogging type of way. So you can create blogs on different neighborhoods, different cities, different events that are happening in your neighborhood. I know a lot of us here, we're near Allentown and Bethlehem, Poconos. There's tons of musical events and fairs and things like that that attract people. So talk about those things that you know about and why somebody would want to also call that community their own as well. So local insights and history gives a lot of insight and really gives a full vision of what it would be like to live in Allentown or Bethlehem or the Poconos or Jersey. Okay. Visual storytelling. Use high quality photos and videos to visually tell the story of each property. Showcase not only the features of the home, but also the surrounding area, nearby amenities, and community events. So again, we can talk about a property and its specs, but really what would it look like to live in this home, in this town, in this city. So you want to really connect the home with its surroundings besides just highlighting the home. It really becomes a nice feature piece for you. You can do a nice custom page on your website for each property, for particular properties that you're really enthusiastic about. And it can come together pretty quickly. It doesn't have to be a ton of work and effort. We highlight the property, where it is, why somebody would want to move there, how it connects to other communities in the area, how commuting would be to this area from major cities. So talking about those things, and sometimes we can't talk about all those things on the MLS. There's not enough room in that paragraph of the agent description that it gives you, right? So this is, again, where we can highlight a property and then promote the property straight to your property page. Instead of sending people to the MLS to look at the property, you can highlight it and really spotlight it on your website and then drive people to your website. Consistent branding and voice. Ensure that the storytelling on the website aligns with the agent's brand and voice. Consistency helps build brand recognition and trust over time. So we talked about that. Whether you're a Facebook website, in your blog, you want to be authentically you so that it doesn't sound like a robot made it, or you're just copying and pasting from somebody else's content. All right. And again, recognizable. If you know who Katie Jo Remmel is on Facebook, she should be the same on her website. She should be the same on Instagram, on whatever platform. Now, if you want to hide on those other platforms for personal purposes, you can do that. But when it comes to your business, it should be recognizable across all platforms. And the biggest thing I think people forget is the call to action. End each story or blog or property description with a clear call to action, prompting visitors to take the next step, whether it's scheduling a viewing for a property, signing up for updates or your blog, or contacting you directly for more information. You always want to end everything with a call to action. It needs to be very purposeful, because we don't want people to just come to your site, read one story, and never come back. Okay, so we want people to keep coming back, keep hitting up your site over and over again. And as more and more people travel to your site and your links are being clicked and they're roaming around your pages, that's going to help with your SEO and indexing. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. We talked about the local experts. So niche communities. Some of us do have some nice niche communities, whether it's catering to 55 plus communities. Maybe you have a really strong religious community. Maybe you're, Greek Orthodox, or you have a big, strong church community within your town. Catering to those specific people that are your people, not some other person's people, but your people. You can really highlight and understand what that particular clientele is looking for. Okay, people who maybe are commuters. Maybe you yourself live in a city and you're commuting in, so you want to know, what it's like to be in their shoes. So those niche communities. Play to your strengths. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Make sure if you love to eat and drink and go out on the town, make sure you're telling people about all those places that you love to eat and drink and go out on the town in. Okay. Keeping that hyper local information. So if you're from downtown Bethlehem and there's a new restaurant coming in and you want to blog about it, get it out there. People are going to want to hear about that new restaurant, even people who are not necessarily real estate related. So play to your strengths. If you love sports and outdoors and hiking, you can always highlight the different pieces that are surrounding your community for the athletic people. I mean, I'm the eating and drinking people. Attract the masses. So that's essentially what we're doing. This is a lead generation focused tactic, right? So we're trying to drive people to our websites that aren't necessarily going there to buy a home. So we're going to drive people to the site for all of these niche communities, local information, the who's its and what's its of our area. And once they're there, then they have an opportunity to learn more about real estate, learn more about you, maybe check out a couple homes. Maybe they have been interested in moving to a new spot, or they really like some of the amenities in that area. So it might make them consider changing locations. Okay. What are people searching for? So in your area, what are people searching for? What are they looking for? We're going to talk about keyword trends. That there's a couple different tools you can use, but think about what people in your area would be Googling. What are they Googling? What are they searching for? Restaurants, things to do with the kids, groups to join. What are people searching for on your on the internet in your area? And you can actually kind of latch onto that and make it so that you drive people to your site with one of those types of topics. Another option that you have, if writing is not your forte and maybe you're not super social, but you want to make sure people understand what the community is like, you can hire local writers for your blog. So maybe a mom, like my perspective, I'm not a mom. I don't know what kids do. So I might hire one of my girlfriends who's a mom and say, hey, can you write me a couple little pieces about things to do with your kids in Bethlehem, things to do with your kids in the Poconos. And then, you can throw them a bone or work out whatever that looks like for you guys. But then that allows you to get a little bit of insight, maybe in an area that is not really something that you're strong in, but you do want to include. So it shouldn't be your hyper focus, but it can be stuff that you can include, right? So I really do think that that's a really cool option, because we all have friends and family who also live in our communities who might have a slightly different perspective, but also may be really great writers or looking to do something, a little side hustle. We're all looking to do a little side hustle. So hiring a local writer, that was one of the biggest tips from a team that I watched. It was a husband and wife team, and they were out of the Pittsburgh area. And they said they don't always get out to all the newest hot spots and things like that. So they have certain friends that they hire to, once they go out to these hot spots, they write a little piece for them and bring it back, and then they take them out for dinner or whatever, for their services of writing a piece. Okay. I thought that was a really cool idea. All right. So content, everybody gets really hung up on, what do I put on my site? Where do I get my content? But really what you want to think about is, how useful is the content? Right? Content quality is huge. You don't want just random stuff that everybody has, the same verbiage that everybody's using. You want stuff that is well written, informative, and relevant to users. So content quality impacts how search engines crawl and index your site. So we're going to talk about crawlability and indexing. Search engine bots love high quality content. When your content is well written, informative, and relevant to users, it can attract more attention from search engines. What does that mean? So your stuff starts to come up to the top on Google search, right? Your website's going to be indexed higher than other websites, because Google is deeming your content higher quality. All right. So search engines want to deliver the best results to their users. So they prioritize crawling and indexing pages with top-notch content. Focus on creating original, valuable, and well-written content. If you're copying and pasting from a marketing website or another person's site, you are not the originator of that content. It's duplicated content. They want original, valuable, and informative content, okay? Use proper formatting, clear headings, and organized structure to make it easy for search engine bots to crawl and understand your content. So making sure that you're bullet pointing content, you're highlighting headlines, you're not using, our sites don't allow for a ton of script. So if you have a headline, you don't want it to be an image headline, you want it to be an actual text headline, because the Google will read your text headline like what to do in the Lehigh Valley. But if you put an image in there that looks all scrolly and nice from maybe something you made online that says what to do in the Lehigh Valley, can Google index that? No, they can't. So make sure when you're using your text that it is really your topics, your highlights. Shannon asks, is there a way to make a Google map with local businesses like that image you just used with local business pins? Yes, you absolutely can. There's also different widgets that you can pull in because our websites allow for iframe embedding and HTML source code embedding. So you can do that from Google Maps itself, pinpoint a bunch of different spots and then pull that map in. Or you can create an image as long as we are bullet pointing or headlining the areas that we are highlighting and then link them out to those particular areas or businesses. All right, so there's a couple different tactics, but yes, you can absolutely do that. All right, let's see. So I was mentioning crawlability and indexing before. So what is crawlability? It sounds like a weird word, but it's totally makes sense, right? So what is crawlability? The crawlability of a web page refers to how easily search engines like Google can discover the page. Google discovers web pages through a process called crawling. It uses computer programs called web crawlers, also called bots or spiders. These programs follow links between pages, discover new or updated pages. Indexing usually follows crawling. So basically, Google's got a ton of little bots and spiders out there searching the internet for content. I think, what was that movie? Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet, right? There's little things out there that are always searching for new content because there might be a question out there that is asked of Google that they do not have an answer for, which is rare, right? That's because they're constantly searching for answers to anything and everything that's out there. So the internet's crawling with their bots and spiders. What is indexability? So indexability of a web page means search engines like Google are able to add the page to their index. So basically, that's part of your SEO, right? When somebody searches for Lehigh Valley homes, who comes up first, right? Who can be indexed first because their content is clear, they're using updated content, clear content. So that's where your indexing comes in. So they found the content, how useful it and clear is the content, then they'll bring that up higher and higher on the search engines. There might be other people talking about the same topic, but yours is better. So you'll get up higher, okay? So the process of adding a web page to an index is called indexing. It means Google analyzes the page and its content and adds it to a database of billions of pages called the Google Index. Okay. Like I said, a million people could be typing and writing about what to do in the Lehigh Valley, but what makes yours different, what makes yours better, and why should they index it higher than other people's? All right. This is just a little visualization of how the search engine works. So you publish your content on your site. The Google bots or spiders crawl your site and review the pages. And then Google indexes your pages. It picks out the highlights, right, of those pages, the banners, the topic headers, the links that you've put in there, the verbiage that you've used. If your page meets the ranking criteria, Google will show it in its search results. All right. So again, you're keeping stuff clear. You don't have broken links. It's up to date. They're going to push you up higher, right? If you guys do like Google searches on different topics, you'll also see like it's date driven, right? So sometimes you want to make sure you get whatever's the newest information up top. And then if you scroll down, sometimes, oh, that was from like 2019. I know when I'm on YouTube a lot that happens. I'm like, oh, this video is from 2019. So you want to make sure that you're giving clear content. So your new 2024 video bumps out the 2019 video. Okay. What affects crawlability and indexing? So internal links is huge. Internal links have a direct impact on the crawlability and indexing of your site. Remember, search engines use bots to crawl and discover web pages. Internal links act as a roadmap for those bots, guiding the bots from one page to another within your website. So the more that the bot or the spider can jump around within your own website from page to page to page to store to article to search to neighborhood, the more it can crawl around and live and inhabit inside your site, the better crawlability and indexing you're going to get. So ensure every page on your site is linked from somewhere else within your website. Start by including a navigation menu, footer links, and contextual links within your content, right? So if you're talking about Bethlehem anything, right, you should be highlighting the word Bethlehem homes, right, and linking that to a search of Bethlehem homes that's current, right? If you're talking about luxury homes in New Jersey, you should be linking that to luxury homes in New Jersey. If you're talking about first-time home buying, right? You in a blog, you should then be linking it to your first-time home buyer's guide that's on your website, okay? Does this work? Shannon asked, does this work with using hashtags? Might be a completely so hashtags are more on social media platforms. It's not really instilled into your websites and blogging. That's more SEO and, like we said, indexing. So hashtags are basically that version, but on social media. Okay. But this is the big part. I think people miss this part. Okay. Linking back and truly enriching your website. So you're adding the content, but if everybody has to click your navigation menu to get to every single piece of content and it's not linking back to itself, you're either going to send people off your site or people are going to read the one thing that you have available on that piece and then be done, right? We don't want that. We want to give them options. We want them themselves to crawl around on our website, right? Okay. So let's get into, oops, sorry. All right. So something to talk about. We were talking about the navigation and linking back. So you have your home website, you have your category pages, then an individual page. So this is something like if you want to do a featured homes, right? So this would be featured homes, have a mass page that says featured homes and index a bunch of different homes. Then click out from that index to its own individual page. So you don't want this individual page just on the home page, drop down from the home page, right? Or the home navigation. You want it to be within a category page, okay? So they went from here to here to here. We could even probably push them back over here and so on and so forth. Okay. So it's just how circular or infinite can somebody go through your site and not end up off of your site. Okay. Now, obviously, in blogging, we do need to credit anything that we have gotten off of our site or from another blog or website or anything like that. So you do have to make sure you credit and you link to those particular people. But making the majority of it clickable back to your site and into your content is the goal. All right. Keyword trends. So we talked about that. What are people searching for online? So if you use keyword trends, you can set up cross-channel campaign monitoring. So you could find out what people are searching on Facebook. What are they searching on YouTube? What are they searching on Google? What are they searching on, I don't know, Yahoo? I don't know what else people are searching on besides Google, but so it's across social media. You think about YouTube as a video Google, okay? So a lot of people use YouTube like Google, all right? They'll go to YouTube and they'll search a topic, right? So think about YouTube as like a Google. So that's a good search, keyword search trend as well to look at. Apply keywords to your website copy. So once you know those keywords, we can start creating content pieces like publishing blog content containing the keywords. We can embed it into our website text. We can use it for SEO. So knowing those keywords and what people are searching for gives you a one-up on just trying to create content and create pieces without knowing what people are actually looking for. And then you can deploy search marketing ad campaigns. All right. So if somebody is searching for homes, relocation homes in the Lehigh Valley, you know that that's trending. Then you want to make sure you do some sort of piece inside of your website and also then do a social media ad to Facebook, a paid social media ad promoting homes in the Lehigh Valley that are somewhere you could commute from, right? You target Philly, you target Jersey, you would target New York, and tell them that there are homes here in the Lehigh Valley that are within commuting distance, right? Okay, does that make sense, guys? Keywords is huge. One of the sites that I was kind of on that was free was called SpyFu. Let me see if it hold on, let me go back. Oops. SpyFu, why are you not clicking for me? All right, we can go off to SpyFu in just a little bit, but it was a free site that had some really good options for you to search for keywords without having to pay, because there's tons of paid programs that will show you tons of analytics. But if you're just starting to get into and start dabbling in it, you'll see that is something going on. Everybody's asking if I felt the earthquake. I did not feel anything. Sorry, guys. What is going on? Lori.
Yeah, I just felt that I was sitting here paying attention and I could feel something shaking, my house here. So I put the news on and 4.8 earthquake in New York. Nothing's damaged yet, but I just wondered if you guys felt it. It was weird.
I just got a ton of text message from all my family asking me. Sorry, guys, to interrupt, but
Sorry, where in New York? My daughter goes to college in Midtown. And
Well,
I'm
I
kind
just
of
put
freaking out.
Fox on and they said New York City, but I think it hit more in New Jersey. Tewksbury,
Well,
New Jersey.
I'm in New Jersey, and I was on the
Did you?
phone with my neighbor. It hit in Flanders, you could feel it, and all the way in Mount Bethel, PA, you could feel it.
Oh
Whoa.
my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh
Yeah,
my
I felt it. I
gosh.
thought maybe it was a low plane or so. I don't know. I was ready to jump up. You were
It,
talking,
it,
and I'm like, what the
it
hell?
shook the whole
Was
house.
this
It was
while we were
so
talking?
scary.
Yes,
Oh my
about
I
Yeah.
did
10
not
minutes
feel
ago.
anything. See,
Oh
I just
wow.
love
Where,
teaching
Katie,
so
where
much. I
are
didn't
you?
even notice an earthquake.
Where are you? In
I'm in
Bethlehem?
Allentown. I'm in
And you
Allentown.
didn't feel it. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's our building or something. I'm like on the third floor of a big building,
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah. No.
I didn't notice
Sorry
anything.
to interrupt you, but I
No,
just, like I
no.
said, at my bare feet here in my office, which is, we have 2 floors, but I'm on the main floor. I thought maybe something was going on with the basement. Yeah, what the hell?
Oh man. Well, I'm glad everybody's okay. My phone was blowing up, so I just wanted to make sure everybody's all right. So
Okay. Sorry. Go
no, no, no,
continue.
it's okay.
No, thank you. I know to text my daughter now.
Yeah, yeah, that was kind of scary. I'm like, something's happening and I'm oblivious to it. Okay. So
All
we'll go
right.
over
Sorry.
into no worries. We'll go over into spy foo in just a minute. Um, so let me just come back down here. All right. The last thing I wanted to talk about before we got into command is the thing everybody's talking about is AI, right? Everybody's talking about it. We're going to do some AI classes down the road. If you guys are interested in learning more about some of the different AI features that we can utilize, AI can assist you right now in content creation suggestions, suggesting web design ideas, assisting with user research. That's a huge one, guys. Assisting with user research, generating imagery, generating videos. That would be like in our Canva. I don't know if you guys are Canva users. I'm a super high Canva user. They have a ton of new AI generated in there. So if you need imagery for a certain type of property or certain area that you don't have, it can create it for you. Videos, copy, and writing of code. All right. Again, our sites, you can embed HTML coding, source coding. So you have that. So Canva's got some really good AI pieces right now. And then Chat GPT. That's the number one. That's this guy right here. All right, guys. But I want to make sure you guys have the right app. Okay. When you're on your phone and you download that app, make sure you're downloading the black and white app, not the green one. This is the true Chat GPT one. This one will truly learn from the entries that you put in there. The biggest thing with AI, guys, is you have to train the AI. The AI is only a robot. So it's going to give you generic or systematical kind of responses unless you train it or tell it how you want it to respond. So really conveying your tonality, what you want for your audience base. So who are we talking to when we're developing these questions or descriptions? Who's the audience for this particular content piece? And what results do we want to happen once the person reads this content piece? Okay. So tonality, audience, and results. Okay. Those have to be top of mind when you're working with AI, because those are the things that it doesn't know that we have to tell them, like how I want this piece to come across, who I want to be the target audience for this piece, and what do I want to happen with my audience once they've completed reading my piece or interacting with my content. Okay.
Katie,
Zachary.
Joe,
Mhm.
is there like a learning curve when you first start integrating Chat GPT? Like I know like I kind of trained my Siri, which is silly, but where before I'd have to say like I'm gonna make her be quiet, but like, hey Siri, please turn on my flashlight. And then now I just go Siri torch, like real quiet, and then she'll turn it on and I say Siri torch and she turns it off. So there was like a learning curve to get
Correct.
that AI to
Correct.
get what I was
Yes,
saying, or
exactly. And that also comes from, so you put in a search, say in your Chat GPT, like write me a blog post or a social media post about living in the Lehigh Valley for 20 somethings who might be interested in buying a home. All right. And they give you an answer. And it's kind of general. You didn't really give them enough about the description of the audience or the tone. So then you say, okay, I like this answer, but change this, this, and this. Or, so as you start to do that, it'll understand like what you mean and what your tone is coming across. And then next time when it goes to write a piece, it does keep that in mind, right? When it keeps it in its memory, not its mind. Keeps it in its memory of
Thank
what
God.
you're looking for, right? It's scary, but true. Yeah. So keeps it in its memory, like, okay, Katie likes when I answer this way, or she likes this type of answer. So yeah, and that's why you want to be consistent with this particular ChatGPT. And then if you can actually purchase and upgrade the newest, I think it's 4, ChatGPT for version 4, that has even more intuitiveness and capabilities of learning. It's just like really a step up. And if you start creating blogs and content, you're looking for creating content, I highly suggest upgrading to the paid version, because it will really recollect all of that information that you're pouring into it, and it'll store it and be able to configure and cultivate more of what you're looking to convey, without you having to say it as much. You know what I mean? It'll start to learn. You won't be quite as crazy specific because it knows what you're looking for. So
Thank you.
yep.
Perfect.
Yep. Absolutely. So we can get into a whole AI class at some point and utilizing it. But I just wanted to add that because it definitely does help with content creation, blog posts. If you're looking to formulate verbiage on your website, or you're looking to do some image or videos, I think it's really good. Okay. So that's what I have right now for, strategies and best practices of creating content and blogging on your site. I think the things to really take home is the crawlability and indexing. That's why I spend so much time on it, is really putting content on and continuously linking back into your own content. It just thoroughly enriches your site. It keeps your visitors on the site longer. The longer people are clicking and more that are clicking on your site, the higher your website's going to get pushed to the top. So, there's those people who are paying buku bucks to get their website at the top, but they don't have all of the capabilities that we have, like searching for homes. A lot of independent websites, you guys have to pay for individual IDX feeds if you want visitors to be able to view homes on your site. And that can get very costly yearly to have that MLS feed. Our sites have the Smarter Agent IDX feed, which is every MLS that participates. So every home that's on every MLS that participates in the United States, bits of Canada, and I think parts of Puerto Rico. All right. So definitely by far for searching for homes, our sites are top notch, and you're not having to pay for individual IDX feeds. All right. Now that we have the customization ability on our sites, you can actually really start to build out your brand, tell your story, and become that hyper local, because you can build out communities on there. You want people going to your site that have nothing to do with buying real estate at this moment, because what happens at some point in their life? They have to buy real estate or sell real estate, right? So keep them on your site as long as you can. Keep them coming back for more. and they'll eventually turn into leads. I think the girl from Pittsburgh, she said like 85% of the people that go to her website are not real estate related. They're going there for the local content, the area content. And then they recognize her name. They recognize her in the grocery store. They recognize her, out and about on the town which is what she's writing about, right? So then when they need somebody, they're like, oh, I remember that girl, I remember that face or that name, they're really informative about the area. So, why not? So what I want to do now is just give you a little quick view here. Escape out of here. I'm going to come into command here. Into command. All right, and we're going to take a quick look at the websites. Now, some of you or most of you have upgraded to the new website. If you haven't, now is the time. Just know that when you do your transition, your old site, not your domain, your URL will stay the same, but the old site content will go away. So if you have stuff built out on your old site, make sure you copy and paste it into a Word doc or a Google Doc. That way you can then use it on your new site, because you can't have both running at the same time to copy and paste to each other. Okay, so copy and paste to a Google site, a Google page, or a Word doc or something like that so that you can grab it. Most of us did not do a ton of build out on those old sites, right? There wasn't a lot of customization that we could put on there. They had blogging for like a minute and then they took it away. So, now you have some opportunities to do this fun stuff. So I'm excited. I want to see you guys get excited. If we come on over into consumer, which is the last icon on the left, you're going to see, I have upgraded my site and it says edit my website. You'll see that your domain did not change. Your mobile app link is still there. We're enabling some of the Keller partners on, or you can enable or disable them. And then this guy right here, this is super important, guys. What were we talking about with driving traffic to our site? Just getting people on our site to click around and search around. We do not want to restrict them from searching on our sites, do we? We don't want them say, hey, come over to my site to learn about, dog parks in the Lehigh Valley, and then instantly make them fill in a lead capture form. They're not going to do it. They're going to hightail it the other way, right? Then what is Google going to do? Oh, nobody really likes that, or nobody's getting what they said that they were going to get. So you keep getting dropped down. So right now, I would say keep your forced registration as unrestricted, okay? If you want to do something like 10 properties or something like that, I guess that would be okay. But the people with the most, with the best websites do not have restricted viewing. At any given time, there's spots for them to contact you. You're going to put tons of contact kind of forms and pages in there, and ways to get in touch and reasons for them to get in touch with you, right? Give them valid reasons. Instead of just lead capturing them, give them a reason to get in touch with you. So keep your stuff unrestricted for right now. All right. And then edit my website will get into the back end of your site. All right. So we hit edit my website. This is where we get into our page build out. Now, right here, you can see mine says Katie Jo Remmel Personal. I do not have a team. If you have a team, you're going to have your personal and a team site. So just be aware that if you build out on one, it doesn't transfer to the other. So make sure, like, if you really are on a team, that you're building out your team site instead of your personal site. Okay. Here's your current URL. You get your default pages. All right. The standard about me, your home page where people are starting their searches. You also have a blogging page specifically. Then we have custom pages here. What is your home worth? This is really cool, guys. It does actually give them a price range, does the full lead capture. You get an immediate notification that somebody is looking to get their home value, and it prompts them to continue with the home value instead of like, well, here's the price of your home, like Zillow would give you, and then that's that. This, it gives you a range and gives them an option to connect with you to get a little bit more information about what their home would be specifically priced at in the market, so on and so forth. So I really like that new tool. About
Sorry to
KW.
interrupt. Sorry. I know this is probably more intensive and you might have another class on it, but is there a way to reorder these, like the custom pages? Because
Yeah.
instead of having to click more and then go down to find that page, can that be
Yes.
on like one of the header?
Absolutely.
pages?
Yeah, we can edit our navigation page. It is a little bit more techie. We'll just call it techie. There's some steps that are involved to do it. It's not super hard, but what I would say is if you're in the process of starting to build your site, start building out your custom pages and getting them set. Then we come back into the navigation menu and we build out the navigation menu. I do have a link. If you're interested in the link for editing your navigation menu, put your name in the chat box or your email in the chat box, and I will send you the small tutorial. They have like a PDF style tutorial of how to do it. But I do plan on doing a video myself on it, just so that you guys can rewatch me and see exactly where I'm clicking and stuff. I think sometimes that's a little bit easier than just looking at a PDF, but everybody learns different. So if you want that, put your email in the chat box and I'll be sure to send that to you.
Thank you.
Yep, you got it. Mortgage calculator, non-branded to any specific mortgage person or company. So again, if they want more information about mortgages, they're going to be coming to you, the expert, and then you can relay them to whoever you prefer. Why choose me? That's like more of an about me page. And I have a second mortgage calculator just for demoing. So there's some custom pages I've built out, but basically you can build out any style page you want. So if we come into our custom page here, I'm just going to go over this quickly. We have what we would call our page title. So what kind of page is this? But right here are the modules. All right. So these are the different types of pieces and layouts that we can add to a custom page to be able to really build out a nice piece. So we have a listing carousel. So you can put multiple chosen listings in a carousel, kind of like that's on your home page, but they're chosen and they're filtered, and you can put those on a specific page, maybe for a specific neighborhood. Same thing with location listing carousel. So you can create a location carousel for different neighborhoods for people to click into. This is your most popular, the rich text. This has tons of different formatting options. You can embed text and links and images in here. Okay. You can also do HTML importing in here as well. We have,
Excuse me.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. Can I ask a quick question? On that module that you just had on the listing carousel,
Uh-huh.
those photos, um, maybe it's dumb. Do they come off the MLS?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
are these just properties that well, I guess it's a dumb question. So they would come off the MLS.
Yeah, the carousel itself is an MLS fed one. Yep. Yeah, you
Got it.
would, if you wanted to do the one where you do it yourself, I would do like the rich text, right? And you'd put like your photo of what you would want or video of your listing and then the content about the listing. But this one is more of just like a chosen MLS feed, basically. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to play with it. I guess when you're doing it, does it automatically connect you to the MLS and you could pick
Yeah,
the houses
yeah.
you want?
Basically, you would put in your type of criteria in there. Yeah, and like I said,
Okay.
we can get into the actual physical parts of these websites, specifically custom pages, because I think that would be a really great class to get into. But now I'm just kind of showing how you have the capability of doing those
That's
things.
fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You got it. So we talked about the rich text. We have statistics. So you can put in statistics for different neighborhoods, properties, areas, different things like that. So it's just kind of like a different type of infographic. But just remember, if you're going to put statistical information that needs to be updated, what was one of the number one things for indexing? Making sure we update our content. So if you're going to use something like that, that would be a manual update of some sort of statistics that you're putting in there. And then you can update it monthly or weekly or however that would be. And then you could also make sure you're referencing where those statistics are from, like the MLS or GLBR or NAR itself. Okay.
So
We
that
also,
doesn't auto link
no,
and
that's
update.
not an auto link. This is more of like you just want to use an infographic as part of your layout. Okay. And so it's basically like big numbers and then graphics here, or here you have where you have numbers and you can put a small sentence or title below with a link out to more information or search the area for properties, whatever. So these are all customizable, but they are something you manually do, not a feed. Now we can get feeds using iframe codes and HTMLs from other places that would consistently be updating. But basically what those things do is take their information from their website and it plops it in a special box on your site. And so it's feeding it consistently. So you would have to find a source that provides an iframe code or HTML coding to be able to get that content on your site where they maintain it and you're not having to maintain it. So you just make a little box that you put their info in and it feeds it. So there's different ways of doing that. Our old Homekeeper blogs were like that. Homekeeper would update their blog and we put that little frame on our site. And so it was constantly being updated on our site by Homekeeper through the feed. So there's different things that we can do to not have to do everything manually, but you would have to choose your sources for that. Okay. Testimonials, we can add testimonials to any page. You do have a testimonial carousel that's on your home page, but we can add testimonials on any page. So say you have testimonials from a specific niche of community, like your church community or 55 plus or any of those niches, you could highlight their testimonies on that community page or something like that that says, you know, I really liked working with Katie. She found what I needed as a elderly person or whatever that looks like for them. They understood the needs of my walkability to my synagogue or whatever that looks like. You could highlight those specific testimonials on that page, which I thought was really nice. Video is huge, guys. We want to embed video onto our site. We can put aerial video. We can put our digital video from whether you're working with one of our digital photographers, videographers. You can embed video on here. Now, it is not an import situation. So the video does need to exist online, like YouTube or Vimeo or another online cloud to be able to embed it here inside of the site. But it does play live on your site. So it's not a link out to play it on YouTube, so on and so forth. It will actually play live on your site, which is nice. And we come down, we have forms. We can create forms. Now the form capabilities are still slightly limited. They are working on it. It's one of our number one requests is for us to have more customization of our forms for contact forms, fillable forms. Right now, it's still very limited as to what kind of information we can capture, but we can change the headlines slightly. We talked about HTML embedding and iframe embedding. These are, again, little sections you add to put those pieces in so it plops that information right onto your site. Our home value component, and we do have a my preferred vendors section now. So if you have vendors that you want to highlight on your site, we can definitely do that. You can do that. It's automatically placed on your agent about me page, but you can also create its own page. A lot of my agents are doing that, where they're pulling it out of the about me page and they're creating my partners, my preferred vendors pages, and they're highlighting their special people, whether that's inspectors, appraisers, contractors, electricians. Again, when somebody moves into a new home and you're done with the transaction, we still want them coming to our website, right? So provide them the local vendors so that they can actually do repairs on their homes, get things fixed. They're going to look to you for that information because they're brand new. You know, I moved across the country to a new home. I don't know who a trusted electrician is or a landscaper. You know, I could get hoodwinked. I don't know. But if I go to your website and you're promoting somebody of value, then I'll trust that, you know, that person is reliable because you vouched for them. So be choosy about who you put on there. But I think it's another piece for people to get driven to your site that's more than just real estate related. And it's also an opportunity for you guys to do a mutual referral program with some of your vendors as well. Okay. So that is some of the pieces that you can add into the custom pages so that it helps with layout and content without having to do it all yourself, because we're not computer programmers, we're not website designers. So these pieces just allow it to be a little bit easier for us to really build out pages that are engaging and full of content and can have a high index then on Google without it being a modge-podge of crazy stuff that doesn't line up when you go on mobile and this and that. These pieces, these modules here will allow it to convert to an iPad or an iPhone really easily without you having to know how to do that stuff yourself, because we don't need another job, right? I don't want to be a computer person now. So that's your custom pages. I did want to just show you, if we're back on the dashboard up here in the top with the little plus sign, you can hit the plus sign here at any given time and you can add your blog post. You can also add a blog post here. You can add testimonials here manually. Okay, so if you have testimonials off-site, you want to bring them on here, you can add a testimonial. But the blog post is really cool. Headline, subheadline, and then here you go. This is where you start putting your content. You can add images, you can embed video, you can do all kinds of stuff. So then what do you do with that blog post? You're going to share it to social media, right? Don't just post on social media where it goes nowhere. Make sure you're sharing your blogging onto social media so that they end up on your website, right? You want them to actionable items. Again, come to my website, learn more on my website. And while you're here, I'm going to redirect you to other things on my website. I'm going to redirect you to other amenities, neighborhoods, value pieces, you know, all over my site. So again, use these pieces and push them to social media, get them back over here. Same thing with YouTube. Whenever you post a YouTube video, your website better be in this content section, like the paragraph that you can add for your video. Your website needs to be in there because you want to get them back over. If they're on YouTube, get them back over onto your site. Okay. So lots of neat things we can do with our websites. We'll go more into actual build outs of our websites. If you haven't launched your site yet, you can go to the KPG Command Central, my website, and under video tutorials here. Let's see, video tutorials. Where did it go? Down here at the bottom, new agent site upgrade webinar. So we did a webinar on actually going from your old site, pushing that button and doing the upgrade and jumping over into the new site. So if you want to check that out before hitting the button, you're more than welcome to. Today's class will be also in this, on this exact page itself, and it's going to be in the website section here. So website and blogging will be added. There's tons of other types of videos on here. If you're more of the PDF learner, I do have quick guides here. Just don't look at the websites because I haven't updated those ones yet. And additionally, scheduling one-on-one sessions with me, guys. So if you're afraid, if you want more help building out these custom pages, you want to get some ideas together, you can schedule a one-on-one session with me. All you have to do is come in here and you click request to book. All right. Then you come in, you choose your day and your time. All right. And then I approve it. And then we get to meet via Zoom. Okay. So be sure to check out the site and grab some content here and schedule one-on-ones with me. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we end today? Nope. Let's see, chat.
Thank you, Katie. This was wonderful.
Yep, no problem. I'm so happy to be able to share this information I got from Family Reunion. Anytime that there's a training, you know, out there that I can grab some info from, I'm always gonna try to relay it to you. If anybody wants, you know, another class on something or has a suggestion of a class that is highly sought after in their market center, please let me know. I'm more than happy to get that out on out to everybody and get them invited to this link. We only had a couple people today, but you know, maybe we'll have more next time. So tell everybody that you were able to learn something today, and I will be sure to get you guys those links too for anybody that put their website, or I'm sorry, email in the chat box. Okay. All right, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day, happy weekend, and please stay safe out there. And I'm hoping that everyone's loved ones are okay. Okay.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Katie.
Bye.
Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.